Welcome to my action project. My name is FREYA PATEL. I am studying in Bright Day School CBSE Vasna unit in grade 9th. The title for my action project is Esteemed Me, which means to bring confidence in oneself. Through my project, Esteemed Me, I aimed at trying to remove codependency from adolescent mind. Codependency is a term used to refer to a condition where you have fear or insecurity of losing someone, and therefore you try to control the person's behaviors. You tend to not speak up about yourself and rather bottle up all your fear and your anger. This leads to short-term and long-term depressions, anxiety disorders, stress-related issues, and, in extreme cases, suicide. Codependency is not from birth or something that is passed by genes. Rather, it is born of a previous dysfunctional relation in either family or people surrounding someone. Dysfunctional refers to a wrong kind of a relation that puts a bad imprint or negative imprint into one's mind. The only solution we have is to make them realize, make them aware about the problem and the solutions that it can offer. Make them realize that only they can themselves help them. This is the only way to help them. And this is exactly what I have intended to do with my action project. My first objective was to identify the teens suffering from the term codependency. The next is to let them understand the concern, because until they understand what is wrong, they will not be able to find a solution. The third one is to make them open up, because basically due to the bottled up fear, because of not speaking up, they tend to feel lonely and insecure of other people or their loved relations. The last one is to helping them overcome the problems. I have identified 15 school-going children from the surrounding area. I had 3 sessions with them, but I faced difficulty in counseling them due to their yet tender age, which requires some professional kind of counseling. Then I identified 10 students from college with help of questionnaire and conducted 3 sessions along with them also. I also held several one-to-one counseling meetings and created awareness in school and surrounding areas. The resources I used was that I met a psychiatric counselor. I asked her questions about how should I help them or how to deal with them, how to make them feel comfortable. I also took references from the books of Melody Beattie, who is a very renowned psychiatrist known for her work on codependency. Some of her books were Codependent No More, Beyond Codependency, Language of Letting Go, Codependent No More Workbook, which requires some of the questions included in the questionnaire. I also took up a book known as You Are Not Crazy, You're Codependent by Jeanette Elizabeth. The other things were stationery needed for taking notes and preparing the questionnaire. My monitoring methods were questionnaire, group discussions, one-on-one counselings, tasks, and observation. The challenges I majorly faced were the difference in age group. My first age group was yet too small, while the other age group was above me. The second was parents' mindsets. The parents were not able to realize that there was something wrong with their kids, or they need to send them for something called as codependency. The third one was difficulty in making them accepted. The students were not really allowed, or they didn't allow themselves to accept that they had some flaw in them. And the last one was the time limit, because it is a mental project and it needs quite a lot of time, and I had to have 3 sessions with each group. What I learned is that school kids are not easy to understand. They are very fragile, and it takes a lot of effort and pain to get through them and make them understand. Also, I learned that with professional help, the work of understanding codependency could have been very efficient and less time consuming. The outcome of the project. My group was more open and had non-toxic relations with parents and peers. They started to attain self-trust and self-esteem. They learned to open up about their feelings. They may be having negative feelings, but they realize that it's okay because they also are a human in the end. I had around 10 beneficiaries. I reached 150 people in order to collect the people who were codependent and the people who could come for the sessions, because some were not available and some parents were not, they were reluctant. Number of days spent, I spent the whole month, 30 days, and around 1,000 rupees for preparing the questionnaire and taking the notes. Conclusion. The conclusion is that codependency is a widespread issue, and most of the people are unaware of the loophole in their behavioral pattern. They do not know about the problems, and thus they do not know about the solution. If codependency was more breached and better recognized in the medical field, then things could have been easier to solve. Also, codependency is something that does not occur due to an issue occurred during birth, nor by